employed at an organization that has at least 10 people? Not a lot. Okay. What does the rest of you do? I know there were some founders, students. What else? I'm curious to understand who's in the crowd. Also to see how this will land, because maybe for some people there's going to be like a completely out of their scope. So what does the rest of you do? So you're a founder? Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. What else? A lot of founders. Yeah, a lot of Enkelperson for the Tag people. Okay, cool. So let's see how this will land, because it might be maybe a bit abstract, but I hope that all of you have some sort of experience of working in companies where there are maybe more than just one person. Okay, so next, here we go. So my name is Nikol, as you already know, and I call my little talk today Leading a Human in an Age of a Machine. And that's because even though, I don't know if you're aware, if you're Enkelperson for the people, but there is this trend of renaming HR to people and culture. But the people focus really is not all there, especially when we talk about change and transformation and technology. So that's why. And I would like to invite you to think of the last time there was a major change or a transformation going on in the place where you work. I guess it's a bit difficult when you're a founder, but maybe you have an experience working with larger organizations and there was a change or a transformation going on. Or maybe in your place of study. Yeah. How did that go? If you think beyond the announcement, the strategy, the roadmap, this is how we're going to transform. How did it land with the people?
Not very well.
Not very well. Yeah, there is a hand raised in the back.
A big part of the challenge could be that the senior management sometimes don't really understand what's going on in the business. So when you want to transform something, it normally hits reality.
That's part of that. Yes, here.
I've been working in the health sector in Norway many years ago, and then we had to change the system of how we report things. And they changed it, and they found out no, it was not so good. So we extended them to change it something else. So yeah, people didn't know how to use the system. It's not a lot of frustration.
Oh yes, and you just named there, people didn't know. And you said there in the back, oh, the senior management doesn't understand what's going on the ground. Again, there we have people. So there is really something, when it comes to change and transformation, we like to focus on the tangible, hard factors like technology. That's now on everyone's agenda, AI. What are we going to do with AI in our companies, right? But what we often forget is the people side of this. So maybe on paper everything looks great and everyone is aligned and we have the plan and we have the strategy, and then you meet the resistance. The people don't really buy in, or they don't understand. And maybe even the leadership themselves, they're not all that aligned. Maybe they're aligned when they're in the boardroom and then they leave and everyone starts building their own empires. And the human element is really the most complex when it comes to transformation and change. That's why we don't like to work with it, because it's too complex. You can't put it in boxes, right? But when it comes to transformation and change, what we're always trying to achieve is to change the way people work. From one thing to another thing, right? It's a behavioral change. And that's where leadership comes to play. And Lee was talking about leadership a lot, right? Because ultimately it's about changing mindset, changing minds and hearts. changing culture, ways of working. What is culture? That's a sum of behaviors that are happening at a company. And I'm sure all of you have heard this quote that culture eats strategy for breakfast, right? Have you also experienced a moment where culture ate strategy for breakfast? I surely have. And so this is where leadership comes into picture, because leaders really are the stewards of the culture. Their behavior shapes the culture because they have a lot of impact over their teams. They role model the behaviors. And so that there is a lot of responsibility, especially when it comes to change and transformation, because people look up to the leaders to understand what's expected of them, right? So the way leaders show up really determines the success of any transformation. Now, we have a lot of leaders, as Liv said, who got to the leadership role based on their technical merit. But that's not really all there is to leadership. You need to have people skills, and you need to be able to create an environment in your team where people thrive, where people feel safe to show up, to speak their mind, to surface the best ideas. That's the definition of psychological safety, where people feel safe to be themselves. But if leaders themselves actually don't know who they are, then others can't also show up as who they are. There is a research that says that 95% of leaders believe that they are self-aware, that they know their patterns, they know their triggers, they know their whatever. What do you think is the real number of leaders who are self-aware?
0.
0.
Well, maybe not 0.5, but okay.
5%.
Any other guesses? Between 5 and 20, yes, it's 15% of leaders who are actually self-aware. Now, what does that mean for the teams that they lead? Yeah, I'll wait for people to take a picture of this nice statistics. Right. What does it mean for the people that they lead? Right? Liv was talking about sustainable organizational performance, but are we performing, like delivering results, or are we just putting up an act? There is something about leaders not being self-aware, not leading their teams from a place of groundedness that has profound impact on how their teams feel. And I'm sure you've seen it, all of you, everywhere. People acting out of ego impulses, these building empires of I act in my own interest rather than in the interest of an organization, or acting out of unprocessed childhood traumas, where we create these coping mechanisms that served us when we were 5-year-old and had to please our parents, but now we're 40 and we still enact the same mechanism in the way we show up at work. Now, what does it mean for the companies when we have leaders who literally are not aware of what's at play there? How they're not acting in the best interest of their teams, of the organization, but really just working through their own agenda, or even worse, just enacting some old, outdated coping mechanism that became an autopilot for them. So what does this mean? If we have these type of leaders, that doesn't really inspire a lot of engagement, a lot of trust, as we also heard from Liv, and there are some real numbers there. According to Gallup, Now, the global workforce is only 20% of people are actively engaged. That really means that 8 out of 10 people are just going through the motions at work. They really don't care. Imagine the productivity. Yeah, there is a number, like a monetary, there's a monetary cost to this as well. When people are disengaged, it costs companies real money. We tend to think as people matters as a soft thing, right? It's the technologies, the processes, the structure that matters. But this is what it costs the companies if they don't take people issues seriously. And here, AI is really something that everyone's talking about these days, and it's going to be the silver bullet for productivity. But interestingly enough, there is an AI paradox that people who use it most intensively, they report weaker connections to their colleagues and lower overall productivity. So what that means for us really is that technology is great, of course. It's going to enable so many things, but we really need to put that much more focus on the human side of understanding who we are as people, so that we can connect properly to the other people.
Oh, no more battery? I can take the rest also. I have a strong voice, so that's fine. And
yeah, okay, cool. Right. So,
we are, again, let me just finish like this, that's fine. So we are all people before we become leaders, and it's really important to understand our own makeup. What shaped us? Why do we show up the way we show up in different contexts? Because we need to create these authentic human connections, especially now in the age of AI, especially now with all these changes coming super fast, especially now in the time of transformation. The real, authentic human connection is as important as ever. So, I'll leave you with this question. What would your organization look like if your leaders actually led from the place of knowing who they actually are? And with that, I thank you for your attention. Sorry about the issues with the sound, and happy to discuss further during breaks and breakout sessions.